Hey, what's going on, guys? I hope everyone is having a good weekend. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it is you may be in the world. As always, I'm your host, Daniel Carmack. I was trying to get outside, but we had I don't know, storm come in, and it was pouring outside. But I wanted to make sure to get in here. I want to talk today about a topic that I know a lot of us deal with, and I want to try to provide you with some tips on how to handle it. All right. So today I'm going to give you 4 tips on how to deal with chaos when it hits your business. All right. So let me ask you guys this question. And again, I'm sure we've all been in this scenario in some fashion, form, or another. What happens when you have you're on your way to a new job interview and you get a flat tire, or you're getting ready to put on a Facebook Live and your internet goes down, or you're trying to handle conduct a business call and your phone dies. There's been situations where we've all had to face adversity and kind of deal with it. And what really separates, business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders, if you will, is how we deal with those situations when they occur and how we ensure that we come out on top. Okay. So, as you're jumping on, guys, make sure you put in, where you're coming in from. If you are watching this on a replay, make sure that you drop a hashtag replay down in the comments so I can come back in and give you a shout out later on. Okay, so let's get into it, guys. So there are situations that are just outside of our control. Sometimes we run into things that, we just don't have any control over, right? So let's look at it like this. You have an idea, you are trying to achieve a goal. There's something that you're wanting to, a goal that you're wanting to reach. So you do the brainstorming, you do the proper planning, and you have everything set and you're ready to execute. And then like I mentioned before, your website goes down, or Facebook shuts down your ad, or your internet connection isn't where it needs to be so you can stream a live video. Whatever the situation is, guys, and I don't say this to sound callous, but it doesn't matter. Whatever the situation is that occurs, it sucks. Life gets in the way, and I understand. Trust me. There's things that I deal with on a daily basis myself, and it really just comes down to how you handle that situation, or how you handle each situation. So, like I said, I'm going to give you 4 tips on how to just kind of identify it, package it up, deal with it, and move on. Okay, so let's get into it, guys. The first thing that you have to do is when it happens, right? One thing that I do well is I compartmentalize things very well, right? So when I'm at work, I'm at work. When I'm at home, I'm at home. When I'm on vacation, I'm on vacation. Whatever the situation is, right? So but when you run into this, it's okay to be pissed off, right? So you've put all of this prior planning and all of this work in the front end, and then something goes awry, and it throws chaos, enters into your business, enters into your life, and it's okay to be pissed off about it. All right, it's okay to be upset. All right. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to allow yourself time to deal with that emotion, whatever it is that you're feeling. If your business partner screwed you over, or you were, expecting to close a deal and, the company backed out, whatever the situation is, like, it's going to affect you, and it's going to affect you emotionally. And that's okay. Allow yourself time to deal with that emotion. All right. Be pissed off, be upset, be hurt, feel betrayed, whatever it is that you need to go through, right? Internalize it, deal with it, and then let's move on. Okay. So one thing that you can't allow to happen is you can't allow that emotion to spill over into everything else that's going to go on forward. Right. And, one thing that you can't allow is you can't allow that to just build and persist. You have to deal with it, identify how it is that you're feeling, and then you have to move on. Okay. Step number 2, and this is one of my big keys, and if you go back and you look at any of my videos, I talk about this a lot. It's about, step number 2 is about taking ownership. Okay, so if you are a true professional and you are a real entrepreneur. Now, guys, I'm not talking about a wantrepreneur, okay? I'm talking about being an entrepreneur. If you're a entrepreneur, then, you know, you're bouncing around, you're all bubbly, and, you know, you're trying to catch, you know, the coolest trend, or you know, you're not really putting in the grind. You're jumping on Instagram, and you know, you're liking all the memes, and you're doing all, and that is, you know, if you're branding, that is a part. I'm not saying that you don't need to do those things, but an entrepreneur is putting in the work. They're grinding every day. They're not, you know, they're not just on a bubble waiting for things to happen, and they're taking ownership when things do happen, if that makes sense. Okay. So the difference between, you know, being a entrepreneur and being an entrepreneur is taking ownership. Everything that happens, good, bad, or indifferent in your business, that's your responsibility. That's, if it goes wrong, that's your fault. If it goes right, then that's product of your hard work. So understanding the difference and making sure, because guys, what you have to understand is, you know, as an entrepreneur, making sales, growing your audience, getting more likes on your post, guys, those are all just byproducts of the daily work that you're putting in. Okay. So having ownership of your business and what it is that's going on within that business. And you know, if you grow, you know, an enterprise, you know, everything that goes on within that company, that's your responsibility. And I talked about in one of my previous videos, you know, the difference between the CEO and the worker is responsibility. And it kind of plays hand in hand here, guys, with the, you know, step number 2 is taking ownership. Everything that happens good and everything that happens bad. So step number 1, deal with the emotion. Let yourself be pissed, be angry, be upset, whatever it is. Okay. And then now let's move on. Step number 2 is taking ownership. Okay. Making sure that you are being responsible. You are being an owner, all right, a business owner of what's going on, okay? And then step number 3 is respond versus react, okay? So it's kind of in our DNA, right? It's kind of, you know, ingrained in us that we react to a situation. What I want you guys to focus on is how to respond to that situation, right? You have to think logically, so that way you know, you're not compounding the issue, you're not you know, making the situation worse than what it is. And a lot of times what we like to do is we just react emotionally, and from a business standpoint, that's not the best practice. Okay, so you want to take time to think logically about what that situation is. How can I overcome it? What steps do I need to take? And there's a model within this, you know, within the 3rd step that, you know, I've been taught from my mentors. It's the 3-2-1 step. So let's use the Facebook situation, right? Facebook ad as the example here, right? So you know, you have everything go. You've worked on your ad copy. You have the right headline. You've got a great image. You know, you think you know, you're running it to an awesome blog or, you know, capture page, whatever the case is, right? You're super into it, and Facebook shuts down your ad. So then let's evaluate how you're going to respond to this. Okay. So using the 3-2-1 method is you first identify 3 things that is working right with that ad. Okay. Because it's very easy for us, you know, to become very pessimistic, to try and, you know, just be negative about the situation. But when you start looking into, you know, dealing and trying to respond in a logical, you know, entrepreneurial type mentality, you want to identify 3 things that are working well. Okay. And then 2 things that are not working. And I'm not talking about, I put in, you know, hours on the ad copy, whatever the case is, like 2 things that just did not work whatsoever. Okay. And then that's going to lead you to the 3rd step of the evaluation process. And that's one thing that I may do differently. And it could be, you know, it could be absolutely completely doing something different than you have done before. And that's okay. that, you know, and it may be a blessing in disguise, because, you know, they shut down that ad, and that may be the forcing function or the forcing factor that you needed to tweak the copy to where that ad becomes productive. All right. Or I'm sorry, profitable. Right. Because one of the worst things that we can do is have an ad that never gets shut down, but then we never make any money off of it, right? Regardless of what business you're in. So, you know, think about it in that fashion. So step number one is give yourself time to deal with the emotion. All right. It's okay to be pissed off, to be upset, to be hurt, to feel betrayed, whatever that situation is, right? And then number two is take ownership of that situation. How do I fix this? What do I need to do? Or what can I do to improve it? Step number three, respond versus react. Think logically, be methodical about your approach, do the evaluation. 3 things that went well or that were working well, 2 things that were absolutely not working, and 1 thing that I might do differently, regardless of how extreme it is. You may have to rewrite your entire ad copy. You may have to get new images or write new headlines. Whatever the situation is, it's okay. But if you follow that process, you'll feel better at the end. Okay. And then the 4th and final step, and guys, I talk about this a lot in my memes, in my videos, guys, it's take action. Okay. Yeah, you can be pissed off about the situation all you want to. Okay. Your business partner turned their back on you. The client didn't follow through with the deal, whatever the situation is. Okay. But one thing I want you to keep in mind, right, is the longer that you stay in that emotional state of being pissed off or being hurt or being whatever, that's the longer you're in that state, the longer it takes you to take action is the shorter time you have to succeed, is the less time that you have to succeed. So identify it, deal with it, and then move forward. Take action to get right back in the saddle. Take action to, you know, start improving, do your evaluation, make the tweaks, make the corrections, whatever it is that you need to do to move forward and move past that situation. Okay. So that's it, guys. You know, I know everybody's, you know, busy and they got, you know, stuff going on. It's Saturday, but I want to just a quick recap. So 1, give yourself time to deal with the emotion. Number 2, take ownership of what's going on in your business. Number 3, respond versus react. And number 4, most importantly, take action. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Thank you for being here. I will see you guys again on Wednesday. As always, take care, be safe, live life, and remember, we create our own freedom. Bye for now.